have parties and jam sessions, long weekends or all-night sessions. We were all interested in playing music together. Leon was, I think, trying to play trumpet, not all that well, but his guitar playing was all right. And he was always very voluble. I did find at these sessions, I mean, there would be a lot of quite strong parts. This was after the period you're interested in, but you could film and record this part if you like, because it's about Ronnie. I mean, most of the people weren't at the Dialektics, but there was Jeff Nuttall was a regular when he was in London, who was a good piano player as well as cornet player, and Ronnie Wotton, an Irish novelist and poet, and Irish. He brought his Aeolian or Irish pipes, and Ronnie mainly at the piano. And before Ronnie got pissed, he was a very adept jazz and swing pianist, and played everything from quite subtle stuff and Chopin and Lieder that Jutta would sing to more at the Landis, Jay and Fran Landisman's house. There would be jazz sing-alongs around the piano at their parties. And Ronnie, probably knows his father was a dance band pianist, and Ronnie had music in his blood. And his whole thinking and stance, I think, owed a lot to his love of music and concern to be a good musician, so that the concepts of jam session and playing music together, relating to each other, listening to each other, trying to get to the heart of things in communications seems to me closely related to his musical origins and preoccupation. He was more relaxed and happy, as far as I remember, when he was near a piano and going to play than almost any other context. So those jam sessions were great fun, and Jutta, you may know, was a very impeccably trained classical music singer, and then she liked singing show tunes, Noel Coward, and songs by all sorts of composers, like the guy who wrote "The lordly ones, they that dwell in the hollow hill," somebody, an English composer. And so Ronnie would accompany her, and they had, I think their relationship, which was terribly strained often, was much redeemed by this concern to make attractive sounds together. And he was very good accompanying her. And they perfect that. She sang with him when I put on Live New Departures jazz poetry sessions at Ronnie Scott's and other places, the Young Vic Theatre. And she often sang very beautifully with him. She also sang at the funeral and the memorial celebration. Because though they'd had conflicts and almost parted by the time he died, she was pretty heartbroken by his surprise sudden death, and her whole life of singing, I think, it's either stopped completely or wound right down. In fact, she came to a memorial for Fran Landisman a couple of weeks ago, first time I'd seen her for ages, and we reminisced about all our times together. Like we did a trip to Oxford for performing at the Oxford Union, and then at a commem ball afterwards, and the journeys there and back in themselves were rather picaresque novel material, and we reminisced about all that. And she said how she hadn't been singing much since he died.